where do I even start with this one? So this is quite a controversial one, quite a big topic. It's something that I get asked about all the time, and I've done a few videos on Robin, and there's always comments talking about this, or at least questioning it. So today I'm going to talk about and challenge the very subject of Batman using Robin as a child sidekick.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Fear. I'm vengeance.
Now, the figure of Batman, a vigilante hero shrouded in darkness and driven by a quest for justice, is a cornerstone of comic book lore. Integral to his mythos are his sidekicks, the Robins, who, despite their iconic status, present a complex and controversial aspect of Batman's crusade against crime. Predominantly, these sidekicks have been children or teenagers, raising significant ethical concerns regarding child abuse, exploitation, and the psychological impact of engaging in vigilante justice at such a young age. This video explores the multifaceted dilemmas surrounding Batman's use of child sidekicks within the broader context of his fight against Gotham's criminal underworld. Now, the character of Robin was introduced as Batman's sidekick in 1940, a mere year after Batman's own debut. This edition aimed to attract younger readers, providing them with a character with whom they could identify with. Over the years, several individuals have assumed the Robin mantle, starting with Dick Grayson, followed by Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and others. I of course have full story videos on all of them, or you can check out the compilation video I released last month with the history of all the Robins. While their stories have provided compelling narratives of growth, mentorship, and heroism, they also raise questions about the implications of involving minors in dangerous vigilante activities. At the core of the ethical dilemma is the concern that Batman, knowingly or not, subjects these young individuals to physical and psychological dangers. These children are trained to engage in combat with adult criminals, risking their lives and their well-being. The case of Jason Todd, who suffers a brutal death at the hands of the Joker, exemplifies the extreme risks involved. Critics argue that Batman's recruitment of child sidekicks under the guise of mentorship and parental guidance crosses ethical boundaries, exploiting their vulnerability and desire for acceptance. The psychological ramifications of engaging in vigilante justice at a young age are profound. Exposure to violence, death, and the moral ambiguities of Batman's war on crime can have lasting effects on a developing psyche. The Robins, in their formative years, are subjected to experiences that could potentially foster trauma, desensitization to violence, and issues with authority and trust. And not only that, but the dual identity that comes with being a vigilante sidekick complicates their social development and personal relationships, often leading to isolation and even identity crises. The argument often presented in defense of Batman's decision to involve minors in his crusade is the age and choice of the Robins themselves. Many of them, having experienced personal loss or injustice, willingly seek out Batman themselves, viewing the role of Robin as a means of empowerment and a way to enact change. This perspective raises questions about age and consent. Can a child driven by trauma and the allure of a heroic figure truly consent to participating in such dangerous activities? And does Batman's role as a guardian and mentor obligate him to dissuade them, prioritizing their safety and well-being over their desire for vengeance or justice? The Batman and Robin dynamic, while iconic, it necessitates a critical examination of the ethical responsibilities of being a hero, especially those operating outside of the law. The narrative of Batman and his sidekicks can be seen as a complex exploration of mentorship, sacrifice, and the pursuit of justice. However, it also prompts a re-evaluation of how such stories address the implications of child involvement in adult conflicts and the responsibilities of adult mentors in ensuring the safety and psychological health of their charges. Now, I do understand that saying all this does make Batman seem like the bad guy, kind of irresponsible, maybe someone you don't want to trust around your kids. But let me now maybe talk about the reasons why he takes on such young sidekicks. Batman's own traumatic past, marked by the loss of his parents, fuels his crusade against crime. In recruiting child sidekicks, there's an underlying desire to prevent this tragedy from befalling others, offering a path of empowerment and purpose for youths who have experienced similar losses. This act of mentoring is, in a way, Batman's attempt at redemption, not only for the children he takes under his wing, but also for himself, as he seeks to make amends for his perceived failures to save his own parents. From a specifically strategic point of view, Child sidekicks offer unique advantages. Their youth and agility make them adept at certain forms of espionage and combat, complementing Batman's own strengths and compensating for his limitations. Moreover, the presence of a sidekick can serve as a psychological tactic against adversaries, who might underestimate their capabilities due to their age, thus giving Batman and his protégés an element of surprise. Also, let's not forget that these Robins have been trained by none other than Batman himself, so it's not exactly like they're unequipped to deal with common criminals. Batman's decision to train child sidekicks also stems from a desire to leave a legacy that transcends his own tenure as Gotham's protector. By imparting his skills, values, and ideals to the Robins, he ensures that his mission will continue even in his absence. This mentorship is not merely about fighting crime, but about instilling a sense of justice and moral responsibility that will endure through generations. On a deeper level, Batman's relationship with his sidekicks addresses his need for emotional connection and healing. The isolation and burden of being Batman are alleviated by the presence of a protégé, offering Bruce Wayne a semblance of family and normality. This dynamic allows for mutual growth and healing, as Batman and his sidekicks navigate their shared traumas and victories together. I think we can also talk about the fact that Bruce probably missed out on the majority of his own childhood, his own teenage years. Those years were spent in grief and mourning at the loss of his parents and the traumatic way in which it happened. So I feel like spending time with these teenagers and ensuring that they get what they deserve from life is almost his way of living his own childhood. It's kind of similar to how many people defend Michael Jackson's actions. Because he was on tour for most of his life, he missed out on having a childhood. So spending time with kids is how he made up for that. I'm not taking sides with the Michael Jackson thing, I'm just using it as an example. To kind of conclude this, the use of child sidekicks in Batman's vigilante mission is a topic fraught with ethical dilemmas, encompassing concerns of child abuse, exploitation, and the psychological impact of early exposure to violence and crime. While the narratives of the Robins provides compelling tales of heroism and growth, they also challenge readers to consider the moral complexities of involving minors in dangerous vigilante activities. As the Batman mythos continues to evolve, it remains imperative to critically engage with these aspects, ensuring that the stories told reflect a conscientious approach to the portrayal of young heroes and the ethical dimensions of their involvement in the fight against crime. That's pretty much everything I have to say on this topic. This is kind of a big one to tackle, and something I've been avoiding for a while. I'm not using this video to say that I am pro Batman using child sidekicks, because I'm not going to lie, it's kind of odd. But this was kind of thrown out there as a fence. I'm sitting on the fence and I'm showing you both sides of it. Okay, so I'm showing you why Batman would use child sidekicks, and I'm also showing you why it's dangerous and irresponsible. It's up to you guys to decide how you feel about it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below, but let's keep it sensible. Before I go, I'd like to tell you about today's video sponsor, and it is me. DragonVaultGames.co.uk is our web store for our physical shop, which we have here in Newport, South Wales. Come and visit it if you're ever around. We sell a bunch of different things, from trading cards to Warhammer, gaming stuff, collectibles, accessories, and some other stuff. There's going to be a bunch more stuff added soon, including action figures, including DC stuff. So definitely keep an eye out if that sounds like something you're into. And if you're into Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer 40,000, Lord of the Rings strategy battle game, any of these things, you can pick up some bits on our website. It supports the channel. I'm not asking you to donate to a Patreon or anything like that, but if you want to support the channel, this is a great way to do so. Also, as a little thank you for your support, you can use the code THANKYOU5 at checkout for 5% off your order. That's it for me today, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and return to the Batcave for more Bat content. See you guys.
I'm Batman.